Tonight, the Indiana University East women's basketball team begins a stretch of 4 consecutive road games with a trip to Central State University. The Red Wolves are 6-6. The Marauders are an NCAA Division II program, are 2-5. Hello, everyone, once again, and welcome to IU East women's basketball on the Red Wolves Sports Network. I'm Caleb Gillock, along with Kyle Wright, the Assistant Athletic Director and Sports Information Director at IU East. Let's take a look at the two teams tonight. Looking at IU East, this is the first of 4 consecutive road games, like I mentioned, for IU East. The Red Wolves will go 25 days between home games. This is IU East's first game against an NCAA Division II opponent. The IU East looks to snap a 2-game losing streak. The Red Wolves have not lost more than 2 in a row all season. IU East is 2-4 in true road games this season. The Red Wolves are 3-0 when they have a better overall shooting percentage than their opponent, 3-0 when they have more than 20 assists, and 2-0 when they have more assists than turnovers. Freshman guard Mackenzie Campbell was IU East's top scorer with 14.4 points per game, and freshman guard Tia King had a career-high 22 points and matched her career high with 8 rebounds against Taylor on December 16th. Taking a look at the opponent, the Central State University Marauders. This game concludes a 6-game homestand for Central State, which fell 67-63 against Lemoyne Owen College on December 9th in its most recent game. 3 of Central State's losses are by 4 points or less. Iniquia Shell, a 5'7" guard, leads Central State with 17.3 points and 2.9 assists per game. Amanda Pierce, a 6'1" senior forward, adds 14.4 points and a team-best 6.7 rebounds per game. Take a look at some of the Red Wolves in the rankings. IU East is 13th in the nation with 82 points per game, 15th in the nation with 3-point field goal percentage allowed, and 19th in the nation in steals per game with just over 12 rebounds. Mackenzie Campbell is 11th in the nation with an .875 free throw percentage, and Kristen Miller is 41st in the nation with an .814 free throw percentage. And last but not least, freshman guard Bailey Dryman is 49th in the nation with 3.8 assists per game. So we're here at the Beacom Lewis Gymnasium in Wilberforce, Ohio at Central State University for tonight's matchup. Kyle, what do you expect to see between these two teams?
I have no idea, and the reason I say that is Central State, as you mentioned, an NCAA Division II team, IU East being an NAIA Division II program. There's just not a lot of crossover in the opponents that the two teams play. So, yeah, we know what Central State's record is. We know their leading scorers. The two stats that jump out are they commit about 24 turnovers per game, and they struggle from the three-point line. They shoot about 25% from there. But they've done all this against teams that we just don't know a lot about. Some of the teams on their schedule, Walsh University, I just know that they're an NCAA Division II program in Ohio. Lake Erie College, I'm going to assume they're on Lake Erie, but otherwise I couldn't even tell you if they're in America or Canada. Kentucky State, same deal. I know they're a Division II program, pretty solid. So on down the line. So they're doing all this against just schools that we're not real familiar with being on the NAIA Division II end of things. The analogy maybe I would make, especially since so many of our players and presumably listeners are just coming off their high school careers, would be like a high school team from Indiana playing a high school team from Missouri or Vermont. I mean, you can look at all the stats you want, but there's just no commonality there. So there's actually a simulator for this stuff. It has this game, quite honestly, a 50-50 toss-up. Central State with home court advantage, I think we're a little bit higher on the computer ratings. So all the numbers point to an even matchup, but do we really know? No, we don't. It's not because we didn't do our research. It's just there's so little crossover between who these teams play that we're really not going to know what's going to happen until the ball goes up and we run up and down the court a few times.
All right, well, we have about a minute until the national anthem of starting lineups. Really quick, we'll give you a rundown of the Kayak Conference. Right now in the South Division, 6th place belongs to Alice Lloyd with an 0-1 conference record, 4-8 regular season. Midway, 5th has not played a conference game, 4-8 on the season. Brescia in 4th with 4-7 overall this season. Cincinnati Christian, 6-5 season record. Asbury right now in 2nd, has not played a conference game yet either, with an 8-1 season record. And IU Southeast, the current South leader, with a 1-0 conference record and an 8-4 season record. In the North Division, 5th place is Carlo with an 0-1 conference record, 4-2 on the season. IU Kokomo begins the 3 schools that have not played a conference game in the North Division with a 3-7 season record. Rio Grande in 3rd with a 7-4 season record. Point Park right now in 2nd with a 10-1 season record. And IU East right now the leader in the North Division with a 1-0 conference record and a 6-6 season record. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back with the tip-off right here on the Red Wolves Sports Network. You're watching IU East Women's Basketball on the Red Wolves Sports Network.
Good evening, ladies. Number 21, Daisha Boyd. At guard, number 22, Tia King. At forward, number 23, Mackenzie Campbell. And at forward, number 24, Kerrigan Niehoff. The Red Wolves are coached by Tiffany Selher. And now, the starters for your Lady Marauders. A guard from Hamilton, Ohio, number 10, Bria Spalding. A 5'7" guard from Detroit, Michigan, number 23, Aniqua Snell. From Columbus, Ohio, a 6-foot forward, number 30, Jasmine Cooper. A senior from Indianapolis, Indiana, at forward, number 32, Demetria Nunley Lash. And at center, a 6'1" senior from Chicago, Illinois, number 50, Amanda Pierce. The Lady Marauders are coached by Sheba Harris, assisted by Dwayne Hutchinson.
All right, and there's the starting lineups for tonight's matchup between the IU East Red Wolves and the Central State Marauders. Of course, IU East 6-6 on the season, 1-0 in the Kayak Conference. The Marauders come into this game 2-5 on the season and 1-2 in the SIAC. So Central State still in their huddle, getting ready to take the floor. The IU East women's basketball team already out on the floor, ready for tip-off here at Central State University. What a great night for basketball. Of course, Central State, they are already out on Christmas break. IU East is as well, so not too many people here in attendance for this game tonight, but definitely should be a great matchup between these two teams. It's going to go out of bounds off of the tip-off, and they're going to make that, looks like, IU East basketball out of bounds.
Signal both ways, but we'll take it.
So Tia King will inbound for the Red Wolves. Of course, Kristen Miller in the backcourt for IU East. She'll bring the ball up the floor. She'll go to the left side, take it down the lane, pass out to Campbell in the left corner. Out to Boyd on top. Campbell goes right, passes back over to King, who puts up the three. That one will be off the front of the rim and rebounded by the Marauders. Back down on the other end of the floor in the corner. Kyle might have to help me with these numbers tonight.
Oh, wow, yeah, I don't know if it comes across on the TV, but we got one of those deals where it's gray uniforms with gray numbers and a very thin, and I mean thin, yellow outline on those numbers. So, yeah, we're going to get to learn the Central State players by face, or we're not going to learn them at all.
And there's going to be a missed basket by the Marauders. Looks like that one was not too sure on that one.
I'm going to say it was Pierce, and that's a guess. We do know that one's Tia King, though.
We'll say the missed basket that time was by Pierce. Broken away there by Daisha Boyd. It'll be out of bounds, State Marauder basketball.
So we mentioned the turnovers. Central State averages about 24 a game. IU East, unfortunately, averages about 22 itself. So I can imagine both teams are going to be looking to force as many as possible. If one team can force the other to get their usual average in turnovers and maybe keep it under 20, maybe around 15 or even 10, that'll be a significant advantage for whoever can do that.
Good save there by the Marauders. That was a missed shot by
Nunley Lash, I think. It looked like a 3 and a 2.
So he's out of bounds off of the Red Wolves. The Marauders will bring the ball up the floor this time. Out on top with the ball over onto the right side. Shot goes up by, looks like, Bria Spalding. And Red Wolves on the other end of the floor. Niehoff with the ball over to Boyd, who shoots the three. That one's going to be no good. Rebounded by the Marauders. There's going to be a foul on the play as it was tied up almost for the alternating possession. And the foul's going to go against number 22, Tia King. That's her first. Teams first on the Red Wolves, who have a 2-0 lead with 18:04 to go here in the first half. The Marauders will bring the ball up the floor. Over on the right wing. Out top with Nunley Lash. Shot clock down to 15. The ball is with Nunley Lash. And that's going to be out of bounds. Red Wolf basketball.
Well, both teams a bit of the turnover bug early. Again, both teams average over 20. Whoever can keep that under control, or for that matter, maybe even force the other team into the 30s. We've seen some of that this year. They'll have an advantage that way.
Miller brings the ball up the floor for the Red Wolves. She goes left down the lane, kicks out to Campbell in the left corner, puts up the three. This one's good. 5-0 lead for the Red Wolves with 17:25 to go.
Good to see the threes go in. I didn't put it on the stat sheet. IU East 5-2 when they shoot better than 40% from three, and the two losses were against teams that are ranked in the top 12 in the country. So if the threes are falling, Central State not ranked in the top 12 in the country, that'll be another good indication for IU East.
Another three by Campbell, missed off the left side of the backboard. Rebounded by the Marauders. So right now, Spalding with the ball out on top, pass down low. With number 50, Amanda Pierce. And here's the Red Wolves coming down the floor. Boyd with the ball, King down low. And pass over to Miller on the left side. She'll take it to the basket, put this one up, and go to the line to shoot two. That's the first team foul against Central State. And waiting to hear who the foul is on. Miller at the line for the first time in the game. And the first one to bounce off the back of the rim, no good.
Kristen, as surprised that miss as I was. You mentioned one of the national leaders in free throw percentage. That one was straight and true, just a little bit long. Almost got the shooter's roll, but bounced off at the end.
And that last foul is on number 30, Jasmine Cooper, the 6-foot senior from Columbus, Ohio. Here's the second free throw for Miller. This one will go in. A 6-0 lead now for the Red Wolves. Spalding bringing the ball up the floor for the Marauders. Over on the left wing now with, looks like number 34. That's Courtney Perry. And down underneath, that was number 23, Anique Wichelle. So 16:22 to play here in the first half. And the ball will be out of bounds underneath the basket. It will be Marauder basketball, trying to inbound that time to the Marauders. A missed shot underneath the basket. And that was Pierce, I believe. And she was fouled on the way up and will go to the line possibly here. That was a missed shot by Pierce. The foul goes against the Red Wolves, their second team foul in the ball game. It goes against number 21, Daisha Boyd. So her first, team's third on the Red Wolves. I have second on my score sheet, but the scoreboard has
first was
three.
on Tia. The middle foul is the question.
For Tia and Daisha. That's.
I wonder if they have.
So both free throws there for Pierce were good. And that gets them on the board in this ball game. 6-2 game with 16:16 to play. And substitutions are now coming in for the Marauders. King brings the ball up the floor for the Red Wolves. Niehoff out for three. She puts it up. This one's going to be off the rim and off the top of the backboard. It'll be out of bounds on Central State, so it'll be Red Wolf basketball. On the right side of the lane underneath the basket, Miller will inbound the ball for the Red Wolves. Miller and Boyd both down low. Inbound to Campbell out on the right side. She gives a cross-court pass across the lane to Boyd. Kicks out to Miller. Miller with the ball over to Campbell. Campbell puts up the three. This one's going to be off the back of the rim and rebounded by the Marauders. On top of the lane, that was number 50. That's Kayla Schaefer who put that shot up. And it'll be out of bounds. Stay Central State University basketball. And there's going to be a timeout taken down on the floor. So we'll take a quick break. The Red Wolves up by 4, 6-2 with 15:38 to play in the first half. You're watching IU East women's basketball on the Red Wolves Sports Network.
I'm Dr. Ganesh Ramachandran, the region's only hand specialist at Reed Orthopedic Center. Patients love how easy it is having everything under one roof and how easy it is to get here. Right here at Reed Orthopedic Center, right here in Richmond.
This is where a busy mom can work toward a bachelor's degree from a top national university during softball practice. It's where a service member can continue his college studies from anywhere in the world, and where you'll benefit from one of the country's most effectively delivered online programs.
Woohoo!
So, if you've ever wondered if a college education is really worth it, this is where you'll see that it is. This is Indiana University East Online.
And welcome back to IU East women's basketball on the Red Wolves Sports Network. I'm Caleb Gillock along with Kyle Wright. Right now the Red Wolves up by 4 with 15:38 to go in the first half. A 6-2 lead for the Red Wolves. And scoring for IU East right now has been Mackenzie Campbell and Tia King. Along with Kristen Miller with a free throw. There's a basket underneath for the Marauders. Looks like that was number 34. That's going to be Courtney Perry. So it's now a 2-point ball game. Here's Campbell with the three out on top. This one's good. 9-4.
Go ahead, Caleb.
Campbell is now 2 of 4 from three-point range tonight.
And I can tell you she's going to be aggressive. They had some, we'll say, motivational tricks for Mackenzie to make sure she continued to stay aggressive on her shooting. Had a little bit of a off night by her standards Tuesday against Taylor, but some messages delivered to make sure that she keeps shooting tonight, and off to a good start with a couple threes already.
Miller was fouled on the way up. She'll go to the line, shoot 2 for the Red Wolves. Her second appearance at the line tonight. And the foul is going to be on Central State. It goes against number 23. That's Aniqua Snell, excuse me. And that's going to be the second team foul on the Marauders. First free throw by Miller is good. She's now 2 of 3 at the line. And Bailey Dryman back into the Red Wolf lineup. 10-4 ball game with 14:55 to play in the first half. And at the line, Miller from Ottawa Glandorf High School in Ohio. Misses the second one, and it was rebounded by the Marauders. We come down the floor, put this one up underneath. No good by number 23, Aniqua Snell. And here's the Red Wolves. Campbell thought about shooting the three, but she kicks over to King for another three. This one's going to rattle in and out, and rebounded there by Perry. That shot there by number 23, Aniqua Snell, makes it 10-6. Here's Miller for three. This one's good, 13-6, with 14:15 to play in the first half. So the Marauders cross the half-court line with 23 left on the shot clock, now down to 18. King and Miller, the defenders out there, pass down low to number 42. That's going to be Akwar Obon. King misses the layup underneath, rebounded by Niehoff. She'll be fouled and go to the line to shoot two. And looks like this one's going to go against number 42. We'll make sure that that's what they put up on the scoreboard. The third team foul on the Marauders, and that does go against number 42, Akwar Obon. So Kerrigan Niehoff at the line shooting for the Red Wolves, her first time at the line tonight. First free throw was good. She's the 5'11 freshman from Rushville Consolidated High School. Second free throw good as well. Makes it a 9-point ball game, 15-6. Ball out on top now over to the left wing. Back out top. Over to the right side. Three-point shot for the Marauders going to be off the mark. And here come the Red Wolves. Dryman passes down low to Miller. King was able to get a hold of it. She's going to go to the line and shoot two as well. And Kyle, that missed basket down there underneath the basket was by number 33, Jordan Bond.
Tia with a chance for her first. My apologies. She's got a bucket already. Had coming off a 22-point outing Tuesday against Taylor. That's her career high. Also had 8 rebounds, which is her career high. So productive all-around evening. And see if she can get a couple buckets from the free throw line to get her going in this one as well.
First free throw is good. She now has 3 points tonight and 1 personal foul. It's a 10-point ball game, 16-6 with 13:21 to play. Subs coming back in for the Marauders. And here's King at the line to shoot the second of 2. Up to Warren Central High School in Indianapolis. The second one's going to be off the back of the rim. No good. Rebounded by the Marauders. There's a shot by number 23. That's Aniqua Snell. Missed from three-point range. King underneath the basket lays this one in, 18-6.
That was a nice look by Mackenzie Campbell. Got the rebound. Tia got free deep, and Mackenzie found her for the easy basket and a 12-point lead.
And the Marauders are going to take a timeout as the Red Wolves lead 18-6 with 13:02 to play. We'll be right back with more IU East women's basketball on the Red Wolves Sports Network. Hello, I'm Caleb Gillock, the host of Inside IU East Sports, a show where we talk with coaches, players, and other guests about what's happening with IU East athletics.
In the top 100 high school seniors.
Last year we were fortunate enough to do a variety of things on the track and then off to be able to be considered.
Make sure to join us on Friday nights at 8:30 p.m. on WETV Channel 20. And welcome back to IU East Women's Basketball on the Red Wolves Sports Network. Right now, the Red Wolves with a 12-point lead with 13 minutes to go here in the first half. And here's the Marauders bringing the ball down the floor. Of course, the Red Wolves in their black and white uniforms tonight on the road, and Central State in their gray uniforms. It's going to be out of bounds off the Red Wolves. And that was number 30, Jasmine Cooper. So the Marauders will inbound the ball. Out on top. Defended by Miller. Tried to pass down low. Niehoff will get the steal. She passes to Campbell, who will bring the ball up the rest of the way for the Red Wolves. She takes it to the basket and lays this one in, 20-6.
Nice job forcing the turnover by Kerrigan Niehoff. You got to assume Central State, given its height advantage and its perimeter shooting stats, they're going to try to get it inside as much as possible. If IU East is able to keep the inter passes away like Kerrigan did there, that's really going to limit the options for Central State.
A turnover on the Marauders will give the Red Wolves the basketball back. 12:21 to go here in the first half with a 14-point lead. The ball inbounded to Miller. And the shot clock now at 26. Trying to get the ball up the floor across this press. Picked off by the Marauders. That was by number 23, Aniqua Snell. And a basket underneath for her.
Surprised if I would have bet money, I would have said IU East would have been the first team to throw on a press in this game, again with the turnover situation since Central State's got the height advantage. But Central State's gone to first, and they've gotten a couple turnovers out of it.
So out of bounds off the Red Wolves as King tried to pass court to Campbell. And Coach Selhorst wants to take a quick timeout here. So 11:58 to play in the first half. We'll be right back with more IU East Women's Basketball on the Red Wolves Sports Network.
Dylan Newman had a terrible dislocated shoulder after a bad dirt bike accident. The long-term solution, surgery and intense rehab.
I trusted Reed Orthopedics because they had already fixed my ankle. And within 4 months of my surgery, Dr. Miller and my Reed therapist, April, helped me to regain my motion and most of my strength. Thanks to Reed Ortho, I can get back to what I love. It's all about trust. Right, Dr. Miller?
Right here at Reed.
Right here in Richmond.
This is where a busy mom can work toward a bachelor's degree from a top national university during softball practice. It's where a service member can continue his college studies from anywhere in the world, and where you'll benefit from one of the country's most effectively delivered online programs.
Woohoo!
So, if you've ever wondered if a college education is really worth it, this is where you'll see that it is. This is Indiana University East Online.
And welcome back to IU East Women's Basketball on the Red Wolves Sports Network. I'm Caleb Gillock along with Kyle Wright. Right now the Red Wolves with a 12-point lead, 20-8 in the first half, 11:45 to play. And there's a missed layup underneath by, looks like number 32, that was by Demetria Lash.
And Mackenzie Campbell answers on the other end for IU East. She's got 8, and that leads at 14. And even though IU East has had a couple turnovers against the Central State press, Central State, I think, only 1 bucket to show for it. So no net loss for IU East, even though they didn't do so well against the first couple shots against that press.
Another missed basket underneath by the Marauders. Over on the right side now with King. She puts up a 3 from outside. This one's going to be missed off the left side of the window and be rebounded by the Marauders. Trying to save it underneath the basket. Out of bounds, Red Wolf basketball.
Nice job by Kristen Miller getting back. This isn't going to show in the stat sheet anywhere, but the Central State player took a look at Kristen to basically gauge what her situation was, and that hesitation was long enough for the ball to get past her and get out of bounds. So no category in the stat sheet for that. I don't know if you'd call it good positioning leading to wrong head look or whatever, but Kristen basically probably saved a basket there for IU East.
Speaking of Kristen, she had the ball out on the right side. Pass down to the right corner to Campbell, who puts up a 3. That makes it 25-8. Now a 17-point lead for the Red Wolves.
And McKenzie's got 11. Again, the the emphasis with her was to keep shooting, and it has definitely paid off for the Red Wolves so far.
Okay, I could be wrong, but I have her down for 13.
13? Well, I'll do
2 baskets and 3 threes. Or 2 field goals and 3 threes.
And I'm short 2 points on the team total, so I'm going to say you're right. So she's even better than I said she was.
So the Marauders with the ball. They'll curl around toward the basket, put a shot up. No good by, looks like, 23. With the missed basket. And the out-of-bounds Red Wolf basketball underneath the Central State basket. 10:25 to play. Mackenzie Bowles now in the game for the Red Wolves, along with Brooke Packer. Here is Snell. She puts this one up, lays this one in, 25-10. So here's Bailey Dryman bringing the ball up the floor for the Red Wolves. A 5'4" freshman from Rivet High School in Vincennes. And Miller trying to make the layup. No good. Rebounded by Dryman. Right now the Red Wolves try and get something open here. Shot clock down to 7, almost stolen away. It is stolen by the Marauders. They bring the ball down the floor. Right now 10 with the ball, that's Bria Spalding. And she'll score off of it, make it 25-12. Pass down low to Campbell. No good, rebounded by Bowles. She puts it up, and that makes it 27-12.
Hockey assist for Bailey Dryman there. She's not going to get credit for an assist, but she set up Mackenzie, who happened to miss, but the other Mackenzie there to drop it in. Bailey Dryman, long pass, set up that hole, made that whole thing happen.
There's going to be a foul on the Red Wolves. This one's going to go against, looks like, number 23. That's Mackenzie Campbell. That'll be the the 4th team foul on the Red Wolves. Campbell has one, a missed shot underneath that time by 32, 23.
Brooke Packer knocked that in for IU East, extending the lead to 17.
So Brooke Packer with her first basket of the ball game with 8:50 to go, 29-12. Here's a shot from down low, and that's going to be put back by 24, Deja Turner. We'll get this figured out eventually.
I am never going to have a job as an NFL spotter, but I've got my hands backwards from where it should have been pretty much every time.
29-14. And underneath, it's going to be a foul on the Red Wolves. This will be their 5th team foul. And that's going to put, looks like number 34, which is Courtney Perry at the line. First free throw off the mark, no good. Red Wolves are going to bring in, now I can't see your number. Number 3, Kinsley Seiler.
I've long said that ponytails, men's or women's sports, should be banned for the reasons we just ran into. Especially if it's a single-digit number, it tends to fall right in the number on the back of the uniform. Double digit, not so bad. Usually it hits right between the space, but on a single digit, it covers it right up.
Second free throw by Perry is good. And that makes it a 29-15 ball game with 8:13 to play. Here's Packer over on the right side. Lost the dribble. Picked up by Seiler. Seiler puts up a short jumper from free throw range. And gets her first points of the night. 31-15. So Clark with the ball. She drives towards the free throw line. Puts one up from there as well. Misses off the backboard. Rebounded by Perry. And she now has 5 points in the ballgame.
And Central State, they average in the 70s as far as points per game. So for a while they were on like a 40-point pace. That wasn't going to stay. So if you're IU East, obviously you never want to let up, but you can't expect that their shooting woes are going to continue. They usually do shoot better than what they showed in the first 10 minutes. So IU East needs to keep the foot on the gas if they want to preserve this double-digit lead.
Packer now 2 for 2 for field goal range with 4 points on the game. That's a basket by number 23. That's Aniqua Snell. Snell has 8 points in tonight's game. 33-19 with 7:15 remaining. And a timeout on the floor as the Red Wolves lead by 14. So we'll be right back with more women's basketball on the Red Wolves Sports Network.
This is where a busy mom can work toward a bachelor's degree from a top national university during softball practice. It's where a service member can continue his college studies from anywhere in the world, and where you'll benefit from one of the country's most effectively delivered online programs.
Woohoo!
So, if you've ever wondered if a college education is really worth it, this is where you'll see that it is. This is Indiana University East Online.
I'm Dr. Ganesh Ramachandran, the region's only hand specialist at Reed Orthopedic Center. Patients love how easy it is having everything under one roof and how easy it is to get here. Right here at Reed Orthopedic Center, right here in Richmond.
And welcome back to IU East women's basketball on the Red Wolves Sports Network. The Red Wolves up by 14, 33-19 with 7:15 to go here in the first half. A great start to this ball game for the Red Wolves. And right now, 16 fouls against the Red Wolves, 5 against the Marauders. Ball over on the right wing with Central State now out on top. This is going to be a three-point shot by, looks like number 23, that's Snell. And the Red Wolves have the ball. Over in the corner with Bowles. Now passed inside to Seiler. And there's a basket by number 10. That's going to be Bria Spalding. She has 4 points in the ball game. 33-21. Here's Packer. Now with Dryman. Dryman goes left. Back right. Kicks out to Packer, who puts up the three. This one's going to be long and rebounded by the Marauders. And there's a missed layup by Clark. Bowles and Packer, the first two down the floor. Here's Dryman. Tries to get the ball back to Bowles in the corner. And stolen away by the Marauders, number 44, and that's Mashayla Smith. Here's Brooke Packer. Lays this one up and one for the Red Wolves. That'll make it 35-21.
Say Brooke was open about 5 seconds before the ball actually came her way. I think everyone, the gym, Bailey was busy getting the rebound. I'm not criticizing her court vision, which is probably the best on the team, but got it to Brooke just in time. In fact, just in time for the defender to get there. Still got the layup and going to get a free throw as a bonus.
So 35-21 with 6:01 to play here in the first half. The Red Wolves up by 14. Packer at the line to make it a chance to make it a 15-point lead. And a free throw up and bounces off the back of the rim. And it's going to be rebounded by Central State. And coming in for the Red Wolves is number 25, Caitlin Dobbins. Of course, Packer missed the free throw there, but what did they call there, Kyle?
It had to be a lane violation. I actually thought they were going to say the shot hit the shot clock, but I believe they said one of the Marauders stepped in the lane a sconce too early.
So after the free throw by Packer, it's now a 15-point ball game, 36-21 with 5:52 to play. Marauders with a chance to get a three-point shot out top, but they're going to have a basket on the right elbow by number 1, Ron Clark. Here's Niehoff underneath the basket, and she's caught traveling. She faked right and went left. 5:36 to go here in the first half.
surprised at the turnover total, really. IU East, I mean, the press is one of their calling cards, so I'm presuming that means the offense has to go against it every day in practice. Obviously can't simulate exactly what you're going up against, but a little surprised at the turnover total. We don't have the exact stats in front of us, but I'm thinking that Central State's probably winning the turnover battle right now.
Out to Niehoff. Here's Dryman just inside the three-point arc. That one's going to be no good. Rebounded by Niehoff. She puts this one up. No foul on the play. Here's Bolts. Or, excuse me, that's not Bolts. That is going to be Dobbins. And that will be out of bounds. So inbounded to the Marauders. And they bring it across the half-court line. Fake right, go middle. Now underneath the basket, and that's going to be a foul on Mackenzie Campbell.
And I believe that's her second, which would not be a good thing for the Red Wolves at this point.
Campbell actually, if I recall right, she fouled out in the Taylor game on Tuesday. And
as you know, she had 4. IU East, I remember that we had 6 players with 4 fouls, and none of them managed to foul out, which was good. Yeah, a very foul play game. Taylor had 2 players foul out. We had 6 with 4, but they all managed to stay in the game. Mackenzie, one of those 6.
55 combined fouls in that ball game. Now it's 36-23 with 4:50 to go. Pass down to Miller. Dryman passes inside to Niehoff. Back out to Dobbins. She puts up a 3. This one's going to be off the rim, short.
Good ball movement by IU East, just the shot came up short. We'll take that look anytime.
4.5 to play in the first half. A nice basket underneath by, looks like, number 23. And that's going to go to Aniqua Snell.
She's really keeping them in the game for Central State. Got almost half of the points for the Marauders.
Here's Miller out in three-point range. Fakes right, goes left, takes it up the lane. And is going to miss off the bottom of the backboard. Rebounded by the Marauders and bring it down the floor, and that's going to be a layup by number 1, Verona Clark.
It's about 3 or 4 times someone's gotten deep off the rebound for Central State, so IU East probably going to need to make some kind of adjustment to keep the breakaways under control. And I feel for Coach Selhorst. She has no voice right now. She's been preserving it as best she can all day, the last couple days at school, but her voice is about shot. So I half expected to show up and see they'd have some sort of football team style cue cards or something. But she's got the game today, the game Saturday at IU South Bend, and then her voice is going to get a well-needed 10-day rest.
So the foul goes against number 24, Deja Turner. It's going to be her first, team 7th on the Marauders. Niehoff at the line for the Red Wolves. Made the first one. She's now 3 of 3 at the line. Here's a chance to make a 4th point off free throws tonight, and she does. And that makes it 37-27. So the Red Wolves were up by 17, now up by 11 with 3:45 remaining in the first half. We'll be right back after this timeout on the Red Wolves Sports Network. Hello, I'm Caleb Gillock, the host of Inside IUE Sports, a show where we talk with coaches, players, and other guests about what's happening with IUE's athletics.
In the top 100 high school seniors.
Last year we were fortunate enough to do a variety of things on the track and then off to be able to be considered.
Make sure to join us on Friday nights at 8:30 p.m. on WETV Channel 20.
Dylan Newman had a terrible dislocated shoulder after a bad dirt bike accident. The long-term solution, surgery and intense rehab.
I trusted Reed Orthopedics because they had already fixed my ankle. And within 4 months of my surgery, Dr. Miller and my Reed therapist, April, helped me to regain my motion and most of my strength. Thanks to Reed Ortho, I can get back to what I love. It's all about trust. Right, Dr. Miller?
Right here at Reed.
Right here in Richmond.
And welcome back to IU East Women's Basketball on the Red Wolves Sports Network. Right now, the Red Wolves up by 11, 38-27, with 3:45 remaining in the first half. The Red Wolves were up by 17, and that lead has been cut down by 6. Now a An 11-point lead for the Red Wolves. So the Marauders have possession of the ball. They bring it up the floor, across the half-court line at 25 on the shot clock. And a pass down low, stolen away by the Red Wolves. Kristen Miller, she brings it up the floor, passes down to Campbell. And they're going to call Campbell for traveling. And it'll be Marauder basketball once again.
At this point, if you're IU East, 3:30 left in the first half, you pretty much just want to get to halftime, preferably with a double-digit lead, but with some sort of lead. You got 3 key players on the bench with 2 fouls, and Campbell, Boyd, and King, I believe, all have 2, and a little bit short on the depth due to some injuries and some other things. So at this point, you just want to, if you can get to halftime, double-digit lead, great, at least somewhere between 5 and 10 points. That's your goal at this point in the first half.
All over the left side, foul called underneath on the Red Wolves. And that's going to go, it sounds like, against number 3, Kenzie Silent. There's now 18 fouls on the Red Wolves. And at the line is going to be number 50. That's Amanda Pierce. She misses the first one. Now 2 of 3 at the line in the ball game.
They're saying the person in the stands was right. That was definitely not a shooting foul. That was a 1-and-1, so that should have been a live ball. And I honestly have no idea what the remedy is when everyone forgets it's a 1-and-1. I'm usually one person out of 10 remembers and goes and gets the ball. So this is a new one.
Did you see that on SportsCenter where I forget what game it was, but it was a 1-and-1, and all 10 guys on the floor, all but one of them forgot that it was a 1-and-1. He got the rebound, put it back in, and scored off of it.
I didn't see on SportsCenter. I used to referee 5th and 6th grade basketball for my high school, Northeastern High School, and I saw it happen quite a few times there. There's usually one little 5th or 6th grader that maybe knew the rules a little better than the other 9, so I saw it happen quite a few times, but never in a game that made it on SportsCenter.
Ball over on the right side for the Marauders. And it's going to be, looks like another foul against the Red Wolves. And that will be the 9th team foul against IU East.
And we're going to see everyone going for the rebound now, aren't we?
And that foul was on Kerrigan Niehoff. It's her first, team's 9th on IU East. And at the line is going to be number 44. That's Mashia Smith. At the line for her first time in the ball game. Missed the first one of the 1-and-1. That's going to be a foul against Central State. It'll be IU East basketball. Of course, both teams are in the bonus. And the foul was against, looks like, number 44, Mashia Smith.
And a nice job by Kerrigan to hang tough with the rebound there. She had to do a good box out to even be in position, and immediately was double teamed, able to make a strong move, not step on the baseline and draw the foul. So nice job to get this opportunity to score some points for Kerrigan.
Niehoff now 5 of 5 at the line in the ball game, and that gives the Red Wolves a 12-point lead after that free throw. 39-27 with 3:08 to go in the first half. Here's the second one. This one up and in as well. Make that lead 13, 40-27. There's a shot out, 3-point range by number 10. That was Bria Spalding. And here comes Kerrigan Niehoff. Passes over to the left side to Dryman. And finds Seiler underneath the basket. Misses the layup, rebounded by the Marauders. Missed layup underneath by, looked like, Snell. And stolen away by the Marauders. Underneath this time, tried to pass, no one there. Going to save, keeps the ball inbounds. And back out on top. Shot clock at 20 because it reset on the shot. 3-point shot by Spalding. And that makes it 40-30, a 10-point basketball game with 2:13 to play. Miller finds an open lane, passes underneath to Niehoff, misses off the backboard, gets her own rebound, puts this one up. No foul there either. It's going to be out of bounds off of Niehoff.
I just got to hold on for 2 more minutes now if you're IU East. It was an 11-point lead 90 seconds ago. Actually expanded on a little bit before Central State hit that three. Just hold on for 2 more minutes, have a solid lead going into the locker room, regroup, get the players back there in foul trouble. Just hold on for 120 more seconds.
40-30 with 1:47 to go. There's another three-point shot by Spalding. And underneath that time was Pierce. 40-32 with 1:33 to play. Red Wolves kick out top to Seiler. Now with Niehoff, who passes inside to Seiler. Seiler puts this one up. No foul. Missed layup underneath. And 1:13 left on the clock after the foul. Foul's on number 10, Bria Spalding. That's her first, team's 8th on the Marauders. And that puts Brooke Packer at the line to shoot the 1-and-1. Mackenzie Bowles back into the IU East lineup. She'll replace Seiler. Mackenzie Bowles, a 5'10 freshman from LaPel High School. And some more substitutions coming in for the Marauders. Still 1:13 to play. As Brooke Packer, the 5'11 freshman from West Harrison, Indiana, went to East Central High School, is at the line. First free throw will rattle off the rim and no good. And that's going to be an offensive foul on the Marauders.
Kristen was definitely set. If you're a Central State fan, your argument would be that didn't really give any space to the player to turn around. Being the IU East crew, great call. Definitely set and gives IU East a chance to really get 2 possessions against just 1 for Central State in the last 70 seconds of this first half.
8-point lead for the Red Wolves. Trying to find Miller underneath. He's stolen away by the Marauders. They'll put up a shot underneath, and it's going to be a foul on Dryman. Putting up the shot that time was Snell. So Snell will go to the line to shoot 2. Her first time at the line of the game. 59.1, still an 8-point basketball game. First free throw off the rim, no good for Snell. And the foul once again was on Bailey Dryman. Now 10 team fouls on both teams in the first half. And second free throw no good either. So here's Brooke Packer down into the corner with Miller. Now Dryman has the ball. Miller puts up the 3. This one's going to fall in, 43-32.
Kristen's she was up to 5th in the country in 3-point field goal percentage. If you look, she was off the list. It's not because she missed a lot of shots. It's because she hasn't had enough attempts to be on the national list at the moment. But I believe she's 2 out of 3 tonight, so hit a couple more, be right back in the top 10 on that national 3-point shooting list. More importantly, double-digit lead again for IU East.
About a 1-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. Miller with another 3.
And you got to be thrilled if you're IU East. We were hoping to just hold the lead. It looks like they're going to expand it.
46-32. Underneath the basket. Shot no good. Niehoff will dribble out, and it's going to be halftime. The Red Wolves will have a 14-point lead at the half. So, Kyle, tell us a little bit about what we saw in the first half between these two teams.
Well, those are a couple of huge shots by Kristen Miller there. It's down to an 8-point lead. Central State seemed to have the momentum going into halftime, really the last 30 seconds of halftime. Kristen with a couple of huge threes. She's proven she's one of the best in the country at making those shots and couldn't come at a better time. So we talked about just holding the lead. Nope, they built on it. This is, I think, the largest that the lead has been at any point in the game. So great job by those that were in there at the end of the half to not only hold the advantage, but actually make it even bigger.
All right, so the Red Wolves lead 46-32 at the half. We'll take a halftime break and be back here in about 7 minutes. You're watching IU East Women's Basketball on the Red Wolves Sports Network. And now joining me to talk a little bit about women's basketball is Mackenzie Campbell and Kerrigan Niehoff. How are you guys?
Good.
Well, it's great to have you here on the show, Kerrigan. I know you've been on before. Mackenzie, you've not. And you talked a little bit about how you were a little nervous about it, but it's going to be all right. Let's talk a little bit about each of you for our viewers that don't know much about you. Just talk about high school and stuff like that. I know both of you went to Rushville together. But tell us about your basketball career in high school and what college has been like so far. Mackenzie, we'll start with you.
Playing at Rushville was really fun. It's very competitive, and throughout history, Rushville's been a dominant program in Indiana, so it was fun. And our coach, Coach Marlowe, she was a great coach and pushed us. And I mean, it's fun playing with Kerrigan and now playing at the college level together. It's exciting.
Definitely. It's always great to have a teammate that's a former teammate as well from where you went. Kerrigan, tell us a little bit about you.
Like the same. In high school, we really had like a family on our team. We were super close, and that carried over into the court, I think, and that's how it's been for years. So it's really cool playing with someone I played with since elementary school here. So.
You guys also made quite the run in the state tournament a couple years ago, correct?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Our junior year, we made it to semi-state. And we played a really good
here
team.
at Richmond, actually, in the semi-state and lost. But they went on to carry on, to win the state. But we had a good run.
Well, if you had to choose a greatest memory from basketball so far, high school, elementary basketball, whatever, what would that greatest memory be? Kerrigan, we'll start with you.
Mine would actually be making it to semi-state and playing here at Richmond. I think what made it most was the fans and our crowd that came. It was a great crowd and made us excited and everything, so that was really cool.
How about you, Mackenzie?
I agree with that, but another game that stood out, one of our conference games, we actually played Brooke Packer, who's on our team now too, so it was fun. They were one of the best teams in the conference, and playing them and beating them and winning conference was exciting for us.
All right, well, sounds good. Let's talk a little bit about the team and how the season's been going so far. Let's start with the inaugural game at Taylor University. Yes, it turned out as a loss, but there were a lot of fans there in support of you guys for your first ever game. Tell us a little bit about that game.
That was awesome. Coming from Rushville, that's what we're used to. And coming to college, we were like, well, we know we're not going to have all that. Well, we didn't expect it. And seeing all the people there, it was awesome.
All right, how about you, Kerrigan?
Yeah, the people really got us excited. I think we were really nervous coming out like we expected, but I don't know. We really didn't play up to our potential, but we realized what we had to do when we came back, so.
Yeah, I know I made the comment to Kyle Wright, which is, you guys know Kyle, and I said, we really have a great crowd turnout here for this game, and I think everybody there was excited. I know there's a lot of talk about it that week, but let's talk a little bit about the team. How's the team seem to be bonding this season?
I love this team. We have so much fun. I didn't know coming in, because no one really knew each other except for some of the people that have played together, but I think we've all bonded, and we have really good team chemistry.
All right, Kerrigan?
Yeah, like she said, we're all really good friends already, so that's awesome, and I think that carries over onto the court. I know in the first couple of games it didn't, but this last game it really showed. So.
Well, you mentioned the last game. That was Roosevelt, the first ever win for the women's basketball program, 91-81. Tell us a little bit about that game.
I think what really stood out was our defense. We came out and we were ready to played as a team. In the first two games, we really didn't have that, so our intensity on defense really carried over to our offense too, and so.
And what was your take on that game?
It was a fun game. We were all working together, we were getting defensive stops, we were doing what we were supposed to be, and it was fun to play.
All right, well, definitely congratulations on the first win. What do you think that win not only means to the women's basketball program, but to the school as well?
I mean, it shows we can do it. The first two games, they were rough, but we've come back, and I think that game is a turning point for us. So.
How about you, Kerrigan?
Hopefully we take that energy and carry it on. So.
All right, well, how do you expect the remainder of the season to go?
I think we just have to keep working hard in practice. I know we've been struggling to come out every day and work hard, but we got to motivate ourselves to work hard in practice, and I know that'll carry over into the games. And like she said, just do the little things and we'll be fine. So.
How about you?
Yeah, we're going to have our adversities, but, as long as we bounce back, and we'll be fine.
All right, well, I know Coach Stelhorst keeps talking about the process that you guys have to go through. When she mentions the process, what exactly does she mean by the process? Do you guys have any interpretation of that?
I think this season, I don't think any of us have, we have expectations, but we don't really know what to expect. So, we're learning and trying to do our best to learn the process. So
just the little things. I mean, working together on defense, just blocking out, rebounding, everything, just putting that all together, and we may not have it all together now, but eventually, once we start doing everything together, we'll get there. So I think that's the process.
All right. Well, I know that Coach Selhorst has also mentioned that when I've asked her what she thinks some of the bigger games are this season, she says, well, of course, every game, with it being our first season. But if you had to pick out a few games that are bigger games for you guys this season, what do you think they would be and why?
I feel like the conference games, because by that point we should be together, we should be peaking at that time. So I feel like towards the end of the season.
I agree. I really don't look too far into the future. I go day by day, but yeah, those conference games will be important, and we'll see them later on. So.
All right. Well, a big weekend this weekend at the Earlham Classic. You'll be playing Denison on Saturday at 3 p.m. and then also Heidelberg on Sunday at 1 p.m. What do you know about those two teams?
We really haven't focused on that so far. We go, like I said, day by day. We're focusing on Tuesday right now, so.
All right. Now, I also asked Vache and Jason this earlier. What do you guys do to prepare for an upcoming game, and how long do you start before that game preparing for each game?
Well, for this game, we don't have that much time coming back from Chicago, but scouting reports, going through plays, in practice, and then walkthroughs the days of games.
We also watch some of their film if we have it and see what each player personnel is and what they can do and what we need to do to stop them. So usually just depends on how much time we have. So.
All right. Well, at the end of the regular season in February, before the conference tournament starts, where do you expect the team to be and why?
By that point, I hope, like I said, we're peaking and we're at our best that we had been through all season. So hopefully we're winning and playing together and our defense looks good. We're doing the little things right.
All right. How about you, Kerrigan?
Yeah, same thing. Just doing the little things, working together, playing together, working hard the whole game. So.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining me. Great having you back on the show and you on for your first time as well. Make sure to go out and support the IU East women's basketball team this weekend at Earlham College. Once again, they'll play at 3 p.m. on Saturday against Denison and at 1 p.m. on Sunday against Heidelberg. You can check out their full schedule and roster online at IUERedWolves.com. We'll be right back with more Inside IUE Sports.
Sometimes I think the fates must grin as we denounce and insist. The only reason we can't win is the fates themselves that miss. Yet there lives on an ancient claim, we win or lose within ourselves. The shiny trophies on our shelves can never win tomorrow's game. You and I know deeper down, there's always a chance to win the crown. But when we fail to give our best, we simply haven't met the test of giving all and saving none until the game is really won. Of showing what is meant by grit, of fighting on when others quit, of playing through, not letting up. It's bearing down that wins the cup, of taking it and taking more until we gain the winning score, of dreaming there's a goal ahead, of hoping when our dreams are dead, of praying when our hopes have fled, yet losing, not afraid to fall if bravely we have given all. For who can ask more of a man than giving all within his span? Giving all, it seems to me, is not so far from victory. And so the fates are seldom wrong, no matter how they twist and wind. It is you and I who make our fates. We open up or close the gates, on the road ahead or the road behind.
This is where a busy mom can work toward a bachelor's degree from a top national university during softball practice. It's where a service member can continue his college studies from anywhere in the world, and where you'll benefit from one of the country's most effectively delivered online programs.
Woohoo!
So, if you've ever wondered if a college education is really worth it, this is where you'll see that it is. This is Indiana University East Online.
I'm Dr. Ganesh Ramachandran, the region's only hand specialist at Reed Orthopedic Center. Patients love how easy it is having everything under one roof and how easy it is to get here. Right here at Reed Orthopedic Center, right here in Richmond.
Hello, I'm Caleb Gillock, the host of Inside IUE Sports, a show where we talk with coaches, players, and other guests about what's happening with IUE's athletics.
In the top 100 high school seniors.
Last year we were fortunate enough to do a variety of things on the track and then off to be able to be considered.
Make sure to join us on Friday nights at 8:30 p.m. on WETV Channel 20.
Dylan Newman had a terrible dislocated shoulder after a bad dirt bike accident. The long-term solution, surgery and intense rehab.
I trusted Reed Orthopedics because they'd already fixed my ankle. And within 4 months of my surgery, Dr. Miller and my Reed therapist, April, helped me to regain my motion and most of my strength. Thanks to Reed Ortho, I can get back to what I love. It's all about trust. Right, Dr. Miller?
Right here at Reed.
Right here in Richmond.
And welcome back to IU East Women's Basketball on the Red Wolves Sports Network. I'm Caleb Gillock along with Kyle Wright. The IU East Red Wolves lead the Central State Marauders 46-32 at halftime. We'll go over some of the scores for both teams. Right now, the leading scorer for Central State is Aniqua Snell with 10 points. Following her is going to be Bria Spalding with 7. Then also Demetria Nunley Lash with 6 points. With 5 points for the Marauders, Jasmine Cooper. Ron Clark with 4, and with 3 points for Central State, Courtney Perry along with Amanda Pierce. And with 2 points is going to be Jordan Bond. And 1 point in scoring for the Marauders is Deja Turner and Anisha Harden for Central State University to give them 32 points at halftime. Leading the way in scoring for the Red Wolves, Mackenzie Campbell with 13, followed by Kristen Miller with 11, Brooke Packer with 7, Kerrigan Niehoff with 6, Tia King with 5, and both Mackenzie Bowles and Kinsey Seiler with 2 points to give the Red Wolves a total of 46 at the half. So, Kyle, we've got about a minute and 38 seconds until the second half begins. What do you expect to see out of these two teams' second half after looking at the stat sheet?
Well, the reason that IU East is ahead, they're shooting slightly better from the field. They're shooting about 40% from the field. Central State shooting 31% from the field. That's one of the keys to past victories for IU East when they just simply outshoot the other team. They're 3-0, so far on course for that to happen again if they can keep up that pace. I think Central State may heat up again a bit. Again, they average about 70 points a game, so there's no way they do that shooting 30% from the field. So I think they're probably going to heat up a bit in the second half, so IU East needs to maintain its current rate as well. Other big difference, free throws. IU East has hit 10 out of 14. Central State has hit just 3 out of 9. I think they missed the front end of a few 1-and-1s, so actually that's even worse than it sounds. Don't know if that's going to continue, but IU East, that's helped create their advantage. The other thing, I was surprised by this. IU East out-rebounded Central State in the first half. My gut feeling was that Central State had the advantage on the boards, but in fact, IU East has out-rebounded by 4, and a big thumbs up to Kerrigan Niehoff, has done the lion's share of the work to make that happen. She's got 9 rebounds already to go along with 6 points, so halfway to a double-double for Kerrigan. The turnover count not as damaging as I thought it was. IU East with 12 turnovers, not great, but I was a little fearful it may have been a little higher. We didn't have the running stats in front of us. So 12-7 on the turnover count. Not, I don't think Coach Selhorst is going to give helmet stickers for that total, but it hasn't been catastrophic either. So if they can keep it somewhere between, ideally want to earn a helmet sticker, but at least keep it from being catastrophic, IU East hopefully can maintain this advantage that they have right now.
All right, and the team's now out on the floor. And we are about ready to go here with the second half. And it's going to be Central State basketball to begin the second half.
And I don't know about you, Caleb. I can't see their numbers any better on this side than I could when they were going to the left.
Stolen away by Boyd. And Miller brings the ball up the floor for the Red Wolves. Campbell not open on the right side. She finds Niehoff over on the left. Niehoff takes it towards the basket, tried to pass to Boyd. It'll be stolen away by Bria Spalding. And down the floor, this one's going to be laid in by Snell. So 46-34, the Marauders will get the opening points here in the second half. Campbell with the ball, back to King. King has no one there. It's going to be stolen by the Marauders. And that's going to be a basket by Ron Clark.
Goes without saying, not the start IU East was hoping for out of the break. Got a few people back in the lineup who sat the latter stages of the first half with foul trouble.
Right.
Probably going to take a few moments to kind of work it all back together, getting those five back in sync. Hopefully getting these free throws by Mackenzie Campbell will help in that process.
The foul is going to be on Jasmine Cooper. Her second, team's first on the Marauders here in the first half, and that puts Campbell at the line to shoot 2 for the Red Wolves. Campbell has 13 points in this ball game, make it 14 now. Her first time at the line in the game. Campbell, along with her teammate Kerrigan Niehoff, both went to Rushville Consolidated High School. And hits both free throws to make it 48-36. The Marauders inbound the ball. King down the floor with them. Now it's over on the left side. Bringing the ball out on top of the key. And there's going to be a three-point shot missed off the back. There's Boyd down low. Turns, puts this one up off the backboard, 50-36.
Nice response by IU East after those 4 quick points for Central State to start the half, answered with 4 of their own. So come out this first minute of the second half with the wash, everything kind of stabilized now.
Down underneath with the Marauders, now over on the left side. About a 15-foot jumper missed by Central State. Here's Mackenzie Campbell, misses this one, rebounded by the Marauders.
It was a nice look by Tia King. Didn't lead to points, but a nice look. We'll take that look as often as we can get it.
Still up by 14. A pass down low. And that's going to be a basket by Jasmine Cooper. Now has 7 points in tonight's game. Here come the Red Wolves. Niehoff over to Campbell in the corner. Puts up the 3, 53-38. Splitting the lane. Here's Cooper. She's going to be fouled by King and go to the line. It's going to be Tia King's third foul, first on the Red Wolves here in the second half. So right now, with her being that guard, you're starting to get a little worried about her foul situation.
Yeah, had a whole bunch of players with 2 at halftime, and Tia being one of them right away with the third. Still early. They're going to go ahead and sit her as a precaution. But, yeah, if the players that have 2 fouls start picking up that third one right after the other, that would definitely not what Coach Selhorst may have had on her pre-game ideal rotation lineup card.
First free throw by Cooper was good. Here's the second one. This one good as well. And that's going to make it 53-40. And this one's going to be missed by the Marauders' number 23. That's Aniqua Snell. And Dryman on the bottom of that one is an alternating possession. It'll be Red Wolf basketball.
My mistake. There we go. I believe Central State had the ball out at halftime. I think they forgot to switch to the possession arrow officially. It's been recent enough that they all remember that it should be IU East ball, so that's what happened. And yes, and then they've switched the next jump ball back to Central State.
Central State still putting on the press. Down to Miller. She's going to be fouled. And then so it's going to be a foul on the ground. The foul's going to go against number 32, Demetria Nunley Lash. And that's her first. Team second on the Marauders. Strymon will inbound the ball for IU East. She tries to inbound to Niehoff. Niehoff able to save it. Kicks out to Campbell. She drives the lane. Lays this one up. Rebounded by the Marauders. Down underneath, that's going to be Aniqua Snell. Now with 14 points in the game, and Miller wide open down the lane, 55-42. So 16:46 to play in the second half. The Marauders have the ball over on the right wing, now inside the lane. It's been moving the lane, almost stolen by the Red Wolves. It's going to be put up by Cooper, and that'll make it 55-44. Campbell with the ball, fakes right, goes left, passes down to Boyd. Boyd lays it in, 57-44.
IU East starting to get a rhythm as far as breaking that press. Usually a turn or two that'll work, and if you can get that pattern, it'll just work every time. IU East has got one of those now, so hopefully that means that they'll have this press solved, or at least be able to get more breakaway baskets than breakaway baskets the other way for the next few minutes.
Tough foul there for Bailey Dryman. Looked like she was straight up from here. And that's going to put the Marauders at the line to shoot two, and that's going to be number 42, Akbar Obong.
Unfortunately for Bailey, she was also straight up 5'4" against a 6'1", and any contact they're going to give the benefit of the doubt to the bigger player.
First free throw for Obong, no good. She went to Frank Phillips College and actually is from Ethiopia.
And Central State usually shoots 66% from the line after that missed their 3 out of 10 now. 66% not award-winning, but right. You would certainly expect better than 3 out of 10. So I imagine they'll be, next time they practice, I imagine a few free throws will be on the agenda.
Second free throw, no good. It'll be rebounded by the Red Wolves. Here's Campbell down the right side of the floor, behind the back. Stops out on top of the key. Down to Dryman, inside to Boyd. Boyd puts this one up, and it's 59-44.
Nice job by Dacia. Went up against a taller player, got contacted, still able to put it up strong and convert the basket. That leads back to 15.
Boyd has 6 points in the second half for IU East. It's over on the right side now with Pierce. And here's Boyd with the steal. She keeps it. Oh, that's really close over there on the right sideline, close to the scores table. And there's going to be a timeout taken by Central State. So 59-44, the Red Wolves up by 15 with 15:39 to play in the second half. We'll be right back with more IU East women's basketball on the Red Wolves Sports Network.
This is where a busy mom can work toward a bachelor's degree from a top national university during softball practice. It's where a service member can continue his college studies from anywhere in the world, and where you'll benefit from one of the country's most effectively delivered online programs.
Woohoo!
So, if you've ever wondered if a college education is really worth it, this is where you'll see that it is. This is Indiana University East Online.
I'm Dr. Ganesh Ramachandran, the region's only hand specialist at Reed Orthopedic Center. Patients love how easy it is having everything under one roof and how easy it is to get here. Right here at Reed Orthopedic Center, right here in Richmond.
And welcome back to IU East women's basketball on the Red Wolves Sports Network. 15:39 to play here in the second half. The Red Wolves up by 15. And the Marauders have possession of the basketball. Over on right side with Pierce. Trying to pass inside down low. Not able to score. Back out top with Spalding. And back to Spalding now. Back over to the left side, put it up a three. This was going to be off the mark for Central State's number 23. That's Aniqua Snell. And here come the Red Wolves. Pass inside to Boyd. She has 6 points in the second half for the Red Wolves. Niehoff has the ball. That's going to be a foul on Central State. The foul is going to be on number 10, Bria Spalding. Her second, team second on Central State. And Bailey Dryman will inbound the ball down underneath the basket for the Red Wolves. Inbounded to Niehoff. Niehoff puts it up. She's going to be fouled. Third team foul on the Marauders. And that's going to go against number 50, Amanda Pierce. That's her first, team's third against CSU. So Niehoff at the line. She has 6 points in the ball game, all off of free throws. And that's number 7. 7 of 7 at the line tonight. And let's hope she can make number 8 here. You cannot ask for any better free throw shooting than 8 of 8, 100% with still 15 minutes to go in the second half. Ball now over on the left side, 61-44. Red Wolves with the lead. And there's going to be a foul against IU East. It'll be out of bounds. And the foul looks like it's going to go against number 23, Mackenzie Campbell. And it is against Campbell. That's her third. Brooke Packer will sub her out to avoid some foul troubles. There's still 14:45 to play here at Central State University in Wilberforce, Ohio. Driving underneath the basket, no good for the Marauders. And now Niehoff with the ball, finds driving open underneath. She passes off to Boyd. There's going to be a foul.
I guess it all worked out, but Bailey was all by herself, just facing the wrong way. If she just had a second to turn around, she would have found herself wide open. But then again, if you're 5'4" and the other team has 7 players 5'11" or bigger, your first instinct is going to be to look for a bigger player yourself. So if Daisha knocks these downs, it'll be 2 points no matter how you slice it.
The foul goes against Ron Clark. That's her first, team's fifth against CSU, and Boyd is at the line, made the first one. And number 2 off the back of the rim. 62-44 with 14:20 to play here in the second half. Pass down inside. That's going to be a short jumper by the Marauders. Missed, rebounded by Pierce. Pierce will put it back up. And now it's 62-46. Brooke Packer takes it to the basket. She's fouled on the way up by Central State. Will go to the line to shoot 2. The Red Wolves up by 16, 1 point away from their largest lead of the night, which is by 17. Early on in the first half, about halfway through the second half. Packer at the line to shoot. The foul is on Pierce. That's her second, team 6th on the Marauders. And Packer's first free throw off the back of the rim, and no good. Packer shooting 1 of 4 at the line. Second free throw will roll around on the rim and end up falling in, 63-46.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Caleb. It seems like some of the little tricks that fans do to get players to miss free throws, Brooke's the only one that they've done it on. Yeah, because I think Kerrigan, all the ones she made, has been pretty quiet. With Brooke, there's been a bit of shouting right when she's released, which is fine. I mean, that's part of the game, but just it's odd that I'm pretty sure it's only been on Brooke.
Down underneath is Packer, excuse me, that's Smith. And I was wrong again. It was actually Perry. To get it right eventually. Packer with the best layup underneath that time for the Red Wolves. And here come the Marauders down the floor. Across the half-court line. Shot clock at 20. And now it's over on the left side. Driving the basket that time was Schaefer. I'm getting all my stat sheets mixed up here, Kyle. That was Pierce. Back out on top with Boyd. Over the left wing with Brooke Packer. She takes it back right. We'll go to the lane. Pass over to Dryman in the right corner. Pass inside to Niehoff. Niehoff tries to put this one up. They're going to call a foul.
And this will give Kerrigan a shot at a double-double here. She had 9 rebounds at half. I got to believe she's gotten at least 1 in the first 7 minutes of the half here, so she can knock down these free throws. Be a double-double for Kerrigan.
8 of 8 at the line in the ball game. And here's her first free throw. This one's off the back of the rim.
I'm going to leave the free throw commentary to you, because anytime I mention a streak, men's, women's, different sports, it causes a miss, whereas you were talking about how she had a perfect string a second ago and it stayed perfect, so I'll just leave that to you from here out.
Well, you still can't complain about 8 of 9 at the line.
That is true. That will get you out of running in pretty much any practice.
Niehoff at the line. Here's the second free throw. This one will be in, 9 of 10. She has now ran me out of my free throw category on my stat sheet, so I'll have to start reusing. 64-48 with 12:55 to play. Here's a three-point shot by number 10. That's going to be Bria Spalding. She's 2 of 4 from three-point range. And 64-51. Brooke Packer, she's going to have an offensive foul called on her. Off the charge. That's going to be Packers' first, team's 4th on the Red Wolves here in the second half. Over on the left wing, Red Wolves still up 64-51. And a missed shot underneath that time by Cooper.
Good idea by Bailey there. I saw the same angle she did. I would have made that attempt as well, just couldn't quite make the connection. But give those two probably just a couple months early. By February, that'll be a connection. That'll be a layup.
12:14 to play on the second half. Red Wolves up by 13. And that foul is going to go against Kristen Miller. It's her second. Should be team's 5th on the Red Wolves.
Now that is a jump stop. Could hear that back in Richmond even without the streaming.
Here's Packer with the short jumper. No good. Rebounded by the Marauders. There's Central State out on top. 11:45 to go in the second half. Stolen away by Boyd. Boyd brings the ball down the right side of the floor. And here is Boyd. Lays it in, 66-51.
Daish is having a very energetic second half. Not only the points, which I've got her for 7 in this half, but anticipated the pass 2 or 3 times, led to interceptions and easy baskets. So nice work on both ends by Daisha.
Foul underneath on the Red Wolves. Niehoff down on the floor late after that one. And not quite sure what exactly happened there, but there's appears to be a timeout taken by the Red Wolves.
I think it's our TV timeout. We're under 12 in NCAA school. It's under each of the 4-minute marks. But yeah, Kerrigan definitely got contacted. That center down and looking for some help. What led up to it? We're 100 feet away from that. Who knows? But definitely a little contact after the whistle.
All right, well, there is a timeout on the floor, and as the officials will discuss what just happened, we'll take a quick break. 11:22 to play in the second half, 66-51. Red Wolves with the lead. Watching IU East women's basketball on the Red Wolves Sports Network. Hello, I'm Caleb Gillock, the host of Inside IU East Sports, a show where we talk with coaches, players, and other guests about what's happening with IU East athletics.
In the top 100 high school seniors.
Last year we were fortunate enough to do a variety of things on the track and then off to be able to be considered.
Make sure to join us on Friday nights at 8:30 p.m. on WETV Channel 20.
Need to.
And welcome back to IU East women's basketball on the Red Wolves Sports Network. Right now, the Red Wolves up by 15, 66-51, with 11:22 to go in the second half. If you haven't, be sure to go online and follow the IU East Athletics Department on Twitter at IUE Red Wolves. And also be sure to visit the website at IUERedWolves.com. So there's going to be free throws here for the Marauders. They'll go to the line, of course, after the foul that just happened before we went to break. And that foul was on number 21, Daisha Boyd, her third, team sixth on IU East. First free throw by Central State is going to be no good. Looks like at the line is going to be number 44, Mashia Smith.
And the Marauders continue to struggle. I think 3 out of 12 now from the line. It's almost to the point where IU East is any doubt at all if they've got an easy basket foul until they prove they can make some free throws.
It's actually Perry at the line for the Marauders. Missed both free throws. And here's the Red Wolves. Miller with the ball out on top. She goes to the left side, and it's almost stolen away. It is stolen away by Snell. And Snell is going to lay this one in, make it 66-53. I said that was Turner with the basket. Bulls with the ball. Spin move inside the lane. Passes out to Packer. There's Mackenzie Bowles once again. Jump stop inside the lane. Missed. Rebounded by Niehoff. And a three-point basket there by Dryman. It's Bailey Dryman's first three in the game. She now has 14 points here at Central State University. 69-53 with 10:22 to play. Ball inside now with Perry. Missed basket, and it was put back up by Smith. And there's going to be a timeout taken with 10:15 to play in the second half. So the Red Wolves are up 69-55 in the second half. We'll be right back with more women's basketball on the Red Wolves Sports Network.
Dylan Newman had a terrible dislocated shoulder after a bad dirt bike accident. The long-term solution, surgery and intense rehab.
I trusted Reed Orthopedics because they had already fixed my ankle. And within 4 months of my surgery, Dr. Miller and my Reed therapist, April, helped me to regain my motion and most of my strength. Thanks to Reed Ortho, I can get back to what I love. It's all about trust. Right, Dr. Miller?
Right here at Reed.
Right here in Richmond.
This is where a busy mom can work toward a bachelor's degree from a top national university during softball practice. It's where a service member can continue his college studies from anywhere in the world, and where you'll benefit from one of the country's most effectively delivered online programs.
Woohoo!
So, if you've ever wondered if a college education is really worth it, this is where you'll see that it is. This is Indiana University East Online.
And welcome back to IU East women's basketball on the Red Wolves Sports Network. Right now, the Red Wolves lead 69-55. And it's going to be IU East basketball. There's a foul. And that's going to be, looks like, against the Marauders. So 10-10 to play, and that puts Kristen Miller at the line for IU East. First free throw by Miller is good.
And both teams already in the bonus pretty quickly in this half. It seemed like I just blinked. Both teams were like at 3 fouls a minute ago. Now both teams in the bonus. And you got to figure that plays in IU East's favor given the fact that the Red Wolves are hitting about 70% of their free throws, as I again jinxed them, but Central State hitting about 25%. So if it's going to be a free throw shooting contest right now, you like the chances for IU East.
10 minutes to go in the second half. The basket there by the Marauders makes it 70-57. There's Brooke Packer, takes it down the left side. It's going to be blocked. And stolen away here by the Marauders. It'll be out of bounds. And they're going to say Mackenzie Bowles tipped that one. It'll stay Marauder basketball with 9:47. So Central State has the ball. And they will inbound here. Missed basket there by the Marauders. Rebounded by the Red Wolves. Stolen away here by, looks like, number 3. That's Anisha Harden. She now has 3 points in the ball game. 70-59. Red Wolves struggling to beat the press here. Miller lays this one in, makes it 72-59.
See, you have good, I won't call it a jinx, but good powers, because you say something bad's happening and boom, something good happens, and I say something good's happening and boom, reverse. So we need to make sure that I do all the talking about bad stuff. No, you just need to do all the talking as far as any streaks.
72-59 with 9:05 to play. Turnaround there by number 44. Mashia Smith was no good. Rebounded by the Red Wolves. Packer brings the ball down the right side of the floor. Passes down low to Niehoff. She throws it back in. Saved by Packer. Here's Niehoff with the ball. She takes it to the basket. Goes low. Lays it in. 74-59.
That was a great move by Kerrigan. You tend to get in a hurry when you're down low, or at least I always did. She took her time, let the defender commit, and got herself an opening for that basket.
A basket there by Anisha Harden makes it 74-61 right now. Both teams playing fast-paced after the timeout. Here's Miller taking it to the basket. They're going to call an offensive foul on that one. Kyle, I'm not too sure about that one.
I mean, the positioning was the same side. I guess what we can see is that everyone on IU East is about 5'0" and everyone on Central State's about 6' something. So the idea that really any IU East player can actually knock over Central State players, you wouldn't exactly pass physics claiming that too often. So, I mean, it wasn't a... The Central State player had the positioning. I'll give her that. Just the reason it's hard for us to believe is we know there's no way Kristen could have actually knocked her over.
74-61 with 8:26 to play. That's going to be a foul on the Red Wolves. It'll be their 8th team foul. And that's going to... be on number 21, Daisha Boyd, her 4th. And Kristen Miller and one of the officials right now talking. But meanwhile, that's going to put Perry at the line. First free throw is going to fall for Perry. Makes it 74-62. And here's the second one by Courtney Perry. This one up and off the back of the rim. Rebounded by the Marauders. 74-62. 8:17 to play. Miller brings the ball down the floor. Campbell with the ball over on the left side. She drives the lane, puts this one up, fouled, and will go to the line to shoot 2. Be the 9th team foul. And the foul was on Perry. That's her first. Campbell at the line. First free throw up and in for Mackenzie Campbell. Now 3 of 3 at the line tonight. That one no good. 3 of 4 now at the line for Mackenzie Campbell. 75-62 with 8:05 to play. Central State crosses the half-court line at 22 on the shot clock. Over on the left side, spin move into the paint. There's going to be traveling called on the Marauders. So it'll be a turnover and make it IU East basketball. And there's a timeout on the floor as the Red Wolves lead by 13. So 18. We'll be right back with more IU East women's basketball on the Red Wolves Sports Network.
I'm Dr. Ganesh Ramachandran, the region's only hand specialist at Reed Orthopedic Center. Patients love how easy it is having everything under one roof and how easy it is to get here. Right here at Reed Orthopedic Center, right here in Richmond.
Hello, I'm Caleb Gillock, the host of Inside IUE Sports, a show where we talk with coaches, players, and other guests about what's happening with IUE's athletics.
In the top 100 high school seniors.
Last year we were fortunate enough to do a variety of things on the track and then off to be able to be considered.
Make sure to join us on Friday nights at 8:30 p.m. on WETV Channel 20. Welcome back to IU East women's basketball on the Red Wolves Sports Network. Right now, the Red Wolves up by 13, as we found out before the break. I can't do math. 75-62, and 7:52 to play. Here's the Red Wolves. That was Bowles. It's going to be tipped out of bounds off the Marauders and stay Red Wolf basketball. Tia King will go down underneath the basket to inbound for the Red Wolves. 7:50 to play here in the second half. King looking to inbound the ball to Campbell. She finds Seiler. Seiler with a short jumper, 77-62.
Nice find. Kinsey made a nice cut to be open on that left block, and an easy. When Kinsey gets a clean look, she pretty much hits it every time. So a good find, good set on the out of bounds.
Pass almost stolen away there by Miller. It's going to be alternating possession. It'll stay Marauder basketball.
Can't believe I'm about to put Kristen Miller and J.J. Watt in the same sentence, but kind of a J.J. Watt-like play there. Just like Watt, if he can't get the sack, he'll just put his hand up and knock the pass away. Kristen probably wasn't going to do much against the 6-foot post player down there, but found a way to deflect the entry pass. Nice play by Kristen to force Central State to use up half the shot clock.
Shot clock at 10 for the Marauders. Ball over on the right side, down to 6. And that's going to be a bad shot there by the Marauders. Looks like number 10, Bria Spalding from three-point range. Here's the Red Wolves. Campbell goes up the lane, misses the layup.
Good hustle getting back by IU East. Had a potential for a breakaway for Central State. 3 Red Wolves hustled back, kept that from happening.
Missed shot by Clark that time for Central State. Another missed shot by Spalding. Missed shot underneath the basket, rebounded by Campbell. Passes down the floor to King. King's going to lay this one in, 79-62.
That was a great outlet pass by Mackenzie Campbell. I don't know if it was clear on the streaming, but she would have had to basically do that inside out with her wrists. You got to have strong wrists to make the pass that she just made. A great pass by Mackenzie.
Under 6.5 to play in the second half. Shot goes up by 44. That's Mashia Smith. And here's Campbell. Brings the ball down the floor by herself. Puts this one up. And
they're going to call intentional on that.
And Campbell down on the floor. Hurt after this one.
Hopefully Mackenzie's just shaken up. And I don't. Only the player knows of what the intentions were, but it got way too much body to go along with the ball, hence the intentional foul call.
So yes, Campbell does appear to be a little shaken up. And Kristen Miller is there by her for a little while, but as we mentioned, it is an intentional foul against number 44, Mashia Smith. It's her third personal, and team's 10th now on the Marauders. So the Red Wolves in the double bonus for the remainder of the game. Right now they're giving Mackenzie a kind of a second to regain her composure here for a minute after that foul.
And obviously first priority is Mackenzie, okay, but if the Red Wolves can take care of business here, they can pretty much seal the game on this possession. Up 17 right now, couple free throws. If they can rear up the free throws and get a basket on the ensuing possession because they're going to get the ball back, that pushes the lead over 20, and with 6 minutes left, that'd be pretty much game over. So looks like Mackenzie's okay, and a chance for the Red Wolves to be in good shape as far as putting this game on ice as well.
Campbell hits both free throws. Now 81-62 with 6:15 to play. Of course, like you mentioned, after the intentional foul, the Red Wolves will get the ball back underneath the basket. King will inbound for the Red Wolves. Campbell still in the ball game right now for IU East. Dryman out on top. And here is King inbounding the ball. She finds Seiler, but Campbell goes out to get it. And Seiler wasn't quite able to get a hand on the ball. And that's going to be a foul on the Red Wolves. It's going to be, looks like an illegal screen on Bailey Dryman.
And another case of apparently a 5'4" player taking out a 5'11" player. But I digress.
Strymann's third. Now it's over on the left side. Back out on top, over to the right side with Cooper. And then driving the basket, lays it in.
That was good. A shot that Central State wants. The last several possessions, Central State had some players that have not been shooting from the outside all game long, taking shots from the outside. A little bit of, I don't know if a rush, if time and score is starting to work against them. That time, Cooper from close in, that is a shot they want, so that's probably something they talked about in their timeout. We'll see if they continue to, if it was just a little spell of shot selection they didn't necessarily want, or what happens here in these last 5 minutes.
Fouls on King, her fourth, team's 10th on the Red Wolves. So both teams now on the double bonus for the next 5:40 left in the second half. And that's going to put, looks like number 24, Daisha Turner at the line to shoot for the double bonus. And the first one's going to be up and off the rim. Niehoff back in the game for the Red Wolves, taking out King, who has 4 personals on her. And here is the second for the 6-foot freshman out of Cincinnati. This one's up and in. Campbell with the ball. She pulls up from the free throw line. This one off the rim, rebounded by Bowles. Passes over to Campbell, who finds Strymon. Strymon puts up just inside the three-point arc, so that's going to count as 2 and make it 83-65. Going to be a block on the Red Wolves. The foul's going to... Trying to wait to see who they call.
At first, both Kerrigan and McKenzie Bowles were in the vicinity. They do put the foul on Kerrigan, but both have same headband, same hair color and everything, so it took a minute to hash out who it was on, but they do hit Kerrigan with the personal.
And the free throw was good. That was a 3-point possession for the Marauders, 83-67. Here's Campbell down on the right side. Comes back out top and tried to pass down low to Niehoff. Niehoff is not able to catch the ball. 5:06 to go in the second half. Here's the Red Wolves lead by 16. Marauders now have the ball past the half-court line once the shot clock starts. Over on the right side with Cooper. Underneath, and that's going to be a foul on Seiler. It'll be her second. And that puts, looks like number 24, that's Turner at the line to shoot 2 once more. First free throw off the rim. 4:54 to play in the second half. And second free throw no good for Turner as well.
Here comes the press for Central State. IU East has, for the most part, broken it since about the middle of the second half, and they seem to have picked up a couple of patterns that would work for them. Let's see if those are still in effect now.
Campbell over on the right side finds Dryman down underneath the basket. Dryman doesn't make the shot. It's going to be out of bounds and stay IU East basketball.
Nice play by Kenzie Seiler to knock that ball off the, hit the ball, and then the ball rolled off the thigh of Turner, so get a free possession for IU East with only 4:30 left. That's a big thing to have the ball in our hands with that 15-point lead.
Dryman with the ball out on top. Niehoff set a screen, goes over to Campbell. Campbell now with the ball out on top. Screened by Seiler, and Seiler now has the ball inside the lane. Finds Bowles over on the right side. Shot clock down to 10. Out to Niehoff. He's going to be called for traveling. And 4:16 still to play in the second half.
obviously don't want to end too many possessions with a travel, but up 15, 4:16 to go. Red Wolves ran about 40 seconds off between the two possessions and the offensive rebound there, so they can continue to run clock and play reasonably decent defense. That'll be a formula for winning.
Shot fake over there on the left side, takes it down underneath the basket and will be fouled. And trying to wait to see who the foul's on. Looked like he called Kerrigan Niehoff on that one, but we will wait. Now that's going to be on number 15, Mackenzie Bowles. Be her first. There's the first free throw. It's going to be no good for number 23, Anika Snell.
Got to believe this free throw stuff is more mental than anything at this point. Again, the Central State came into this game 66%. I don't think I've ever seen a team, about the worst I ever see is 50% at the college level. And for a team that apparently was that good at it to have this much difficulty, I've never seen anything like it. Fortuitous for the Red Wolves, but very, very unusual.
Campbell has the ball, now to Niehoff. Here's Dryman. Behind the back pass to Boyd, puts up the three. This one's going to be no good. Rebounded by Dryman, over to Bowles on the right side. Back out to Dryman, who puts up another three. This one rattles in and out, rebounded by the Marauders. Ball now over on the right side with Snell. She drives the basket, finds some open space. Misses the layup, rebounded by Bowles. Campbell going into the lane. Puts this one in, 85-69. The Red Wolves up by 16. All ball. Niehoff saves it. And they'll bring it down the floor. Dryman crosses the half-court line. Inside to Boyd, who's open. She's going to kick out to Bowles on the right side. Campbell wide open out on top. She puts up the three. The
ball game.
88-69. I'll agree with you on that one, Kyle. .240 to play. A foul on the play. It's going to be offensive. Good charge there by Niehoff. It looks like the foul is going to go on number 32. And that is Demetria Nunley-Lash. That's going to be her second. So right now the Red Wolves lead 88-69. We'll take a quick timeout and be back with more IU East women's basketball on the Red Wolves Sports Network.
Dylan Newman had a terrible dislocated shoulder after a bad dirt bike accident. The long-term solution, surgery and intense rehab.
I trusted Reed Orthopedics because they had already fixed my ankle. And within 4 months of my surgery, Dr. Miller and my Reed therapist, April, helped me to regain my motion and most of my strength. Thanks to Reed Ortho, I can get back to what I love. It's all about trust. Right, Dr. Miller?
Right here at Reed.
Right here in Richmond.
This is where a busy mom can work toward a bachelor's degree from a top national university during softball practice. It's where a service member can continue his college studies from anywhere in the world, and where you'll benefit from one of the country's most effectively delivered online programs.
Woohoo!
So, if you've ever wondered if a college education is really worth it, this is where you'll see that it is. This is Indiana University East Online.
Welcome back to IU East women's basketball on the Red Wolves Sports Network. Ball inbounded to Kristen Miller. 2:35 to play in the second half. Red Wolves up 88-69. Miller brings the ball down the floor. Mackenzie Campbell just hit a big three-pointer for the Red Wolves. Here's Dobbins. Back over to Miller. Shot clock down to 12. Ball now over in the corner. Finds Packer over on the left side. Out to Seiler. He'll put up a two. This one off the front end of the rim. And
I'm with you. I thought the trajectory of the ball hit the front end of the rim, and I think they're going to correct this.
The officials will talk about it to see if the ball did hit the rim, and if so, possibly how much time will be on the shot clock, correct, Kyle?
Yep. Well, there they reset it. They're going to take a couple ticks off. It shouldn't be at 30, and IU East is going to keep possession. Reserves in for both sides, so Central State, I think, has also conceded the result of this one. So Red Wolves are going to move to 7-6, and that'll guarantee them at least they will have at least a 500 record or better going into a 10-day holiday break after Saturday's game at South Bend.
2:06 to play in the second half. Of course, like Kyle said, Red Wolves still have possession of the ball. Shot clock at 28 on the inbound play. Packer, this is layup underneath, rebounded by Bowles. Will put it up one-handed, misses as well. Under 2 minutes to play in the second half. Shot there by number 1. That's Verona Clark.
And we'll give credit where credit's due. It was a nice moving shot by Clark. Just a little too late for the Marauders.
Packer with the ball. Goes to the left side and it's going to be blocked. Lays this one in, 88-73. Ball inbounded to Miller. Shot clock at 25. Gets it across the half-court line. Dobbins over on the left side. Out to Seiler, around the Packer, around the Bolts. Back out to Packer on top. Shot clock at 13 is going to be stolen away by the Marauders. And Hardin brings the ball down the floor, goes to the left side, misses off the backboard. Here is Dobbins. Spins on the rim, falls off. Kenzie Bowles has the ball, puts up another one-handed hook shot.
Another? I haven't seen a whole lot of those since Kareem retired, but we'll take it.
She's had a couple tonight.
She has.
90-73, under 30 seconds to play. This ball game's going to go to the Red Wolves. The clock will be stopped at 24.5 on the foul by the Red Wolves. Of course, both teams in the double bonus, so that'll put the Marauders at the line to shoot 2. And this foul is going to be on number 25, and that is Caitlin Dobbins. It's going to be her first. And that looks like number 42, and that is Akwar Obong at the line again for the Marauders. Now 1 of 3 for the 6'1 senior from Ethiopia. 90-74 with 24.5. Free throw is going to be missed, put back up, and rebounded by Dobbins. Shot clock's dead. All the Red Wolves have to do is run it out here. Miller with the ball, goes to the left, almost loses the dribble. Game clock under 10. And right now the Red Wolves just going to burn the clock out and take this 16-point win over Central State University. And that's the ball game. The Red Wolves take a 90-74 win here at Central State University and advance to 7-6 on the season. Kyle, tell us a little bit about today's ball game.
The Red Wolves shot better. Sometimes we try to make it a little harder than it really is, but this one they shot probably about 45%. Central State probably about 33%. I don't have the officials' numbers in front of me. And that's the name of the game. I mean, sometimes we make it more complicated with rebounds or assist-turnover ratios or all sorts of other funky stats, but it's called basketball for a reason, and on this night the Red Wolves were better at putting the ball in the hoop than Central State was, and that equaled a 16-point win.
All right, well, of course, like you said, a 16-point win for the Red Wolves. Coach Selhorst still down on the floor talking with Central State head coach Sheba Harris after the Red Wolves take a 16-point win. So while we wait on Coach Selhorst to make it up here to the balcony, let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back with more with the postgame show on the Red Wolves Sports Network.
Sometimes I think the fates must Announce and insist. The only reason we can't win is the fates themselves that miss. Yet there lives on an ancient claim. We win or lose within ourselves. The shiny trophies on our shelves can never win tomorrow's game. You and I know deeper down, there's always a chance to win the crown. But when we fail to give our best, we simply haven't met the test of giving all and saving none until the game is really won. Of showing what is meant by grit, of fighting on when others quit, of playing through, not letting up. It's bearing down that wins the cup, of taking it and taking more until we gain the winning score. Of dreaming there's a goal ahead, of hoping when our dreams are dead, of praying when our hopes have fled. Yet losing, not afraid to fall, if bravely we have given all. For who can ask more of a man than giving all within his span? Giving all, it seems to me, is not so far from victory. And so the fates are seldom wrong, no matter how they twist and wind. It is you and I who make our fates. We open up or close the gates on the road ahead or the road behind.
And welcome back to IU East Women's Basketball on the Red Wolves Sports Network for the postgame show. I'm Caleb Gillock along with Mackenzie Campbell. Mackenzie, you had a great game tonight and, of course, a 90-74 win over the Central State Marauders. Tell us about tonight's game.
They were a very athletic team, but we stuck to the game plan and we did what we were supposed to do, so it turned out good for us.
Now tell us a little bit about your night in general. You took a couple hard hits. One play that I can recall was the intentional foul underneath the basket. You were a little slow getting up. What happened there? Just a little shaken up?
A little shaken up. Kind of hit my head, but I'm good. Ready to go for the next game.
Definitely glad that you're okay after that. Looking ahead, of course, IU South Bend is going to be on the 20th. So what do you know about them yet?
We don't know. Well, the team doesn't know much yet, but we are getting our scouting reports that we know they're a good team, so we have to come and be ready to play.
All right, well, thank you for joining me, and congratulations on a great win. Of course,
Thank
the
you.
Red Wolves 7-6 on the season after picking up a 90-74 win here in Wilberforce, Ohio at Central State University. Of course, like I just mentioned, the Red Wolves back in action on the 20th at IU South Bend. That game is scheduled to tip off at 12 p.m. in South Bend. So, Kyle, anything else you'd like to add about tonight's game?
Nope, just a good win. IU East has not lost more than 2 games at any point all year. If you can avoid 3 or a longer game or losing streaks, you're going to have a good season when it's all said and done. So good to stop that little skid. Hopefully get another one on Saturday to go into the Christmas holiday with some good momentum.
All right, well, a great win for the Red Wolves. 90-74 victory over CSU in Wilberforce, Ohio. 7-6 on the season and still 1-0 in the Kayak Conference. I'm Caleb Gillock, the voice of your IU East Red Wolves, along with Kyle Wright. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.